Okay. Um, During the Great War, 1914 to 1918, you had to be at least 5 feet 3 inches to be shot at by the Germans. So the British Army would not accept you below 5'3". And back then, people were generally shorter. And the legend has it was that a miner from Durham marched 150 miles from town to town to town, and every recruiting station he was turned away because he was 5 feet 2.5 inches.
Wow.
So when he gets to Burke, because at the time you've got to remember, 1914, the British Army had its pick of men. Hundreds of thousands were keen to join. It was going to be over by Christmas.
Mhm.
Everybody wanted to have a shot of the Hun, and so they could afford to be picky. So, but by the time he got to Birkenhead, he was very upset. So at Birkenhead, they said, "I'm sorry, you did too short. Go away." And he took off his jacket and he says, "I will fight any man in this room here who says I cannot do my duty." And legend has it, it took 6 men to drag him outside.
Wow.
And then the MP for Birkenhead, a guy called, Alfred Bigland, heard about this, and he called his friend in London, Lord Kitchener, and, said, "Oh, I say we should let these small men, they're very feisty, let them fight, let them fight." So Kitchener, the War Office agreed. Reluctantly, they agreed. So it was set up on, have you heard of the Pals Battalions?
That does sound familiar.
Okay, so with the idea of the Battalions, you'd have men from the same areas or the same jobs,
Got you, yeah.
same factory, all signing up. So the army used the same model for the Banttoms. So the local community would actually feed them, house them, and the army would provide weapons and training and uniforms and so on. But yeah, so there was about 30,000 of these guys, and they sent them off to fight. By the way, an interesting thing is that the British Army. Uh, was quite segregated then. So you would have English regiments, Scottish regiments, Welsh regiments, Irish regiments,
Mm.
but with the Bantams, they kind of recruited from all over. So in your average Bantam battalion, you could have Englishmen, Welshmen, Scotsmen, Irishmen, even some Canadians. And yeah, so they kept them into specific Bantam battalions of about 1,000 men apiece and sent them off to fight.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's totally believe. You did.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously it's
It's
true.
a remarkable story,
Yeah,
remarkable.
it really is. And, what what was your like, why did you decide to tell this story?
It's a bit of a long story, I probably better begin at the beginning, very, very quickly. Have you heard of an American guy called Jocko Willink?
I can't say I have.
Okay, he's a YouTube chap, and, he's a former US Navy SEAL, and he's built like a mountain. He's one of those guys who has no neck,
Right, got you, got you, got you.
and he interviews other guys, former military guys, just like him. And, I was looking at this fella thinking, is that what a soldier is like these days, And it got me thinking, what is the best size for a soldier? So I Googled it, like any modern person, best size for a soldier. And I found myself on a thread where they were discussing this very thing. And the general consensus was bigger was better. They've got longer legs, they can go further, they're stronger, more intimidating. And then somebody said, what about the Japanese? And then somebody else, what about the Viet Cong? Somebody else, what about the Gurkhas? And then somebody said, what about the Bantams? And then everybody said, the who? Because we've all heard about the Gurkhas, the Viet Cong, the Japanese. And it turns out that the British Army had its own battalions of short men. And I read everything I could find about them. There's about 6 good books about the Bantams out there. I read everything I could find, and I put all together. Because originally I was thinking it would make a very good presentation, take you around the place. And then I thought, "This make a brilliant play. Why not make it into a play?" So, that's where I got the idea in kind of December 2022, and I wrote the first draft in January 2023. Took me 3 days, and, they wrote itself. I had all the information I needed. I just had to put it in the right order. And I brought it up to Edinburgh for the first time in August 2023. That did well. Brought up a second time last year, and I'm bringing it up a third time this year. And every time I bring it up, it gets longer. The first version was only about 25, 30 minutes. Then went up to about 45 minutes. This year, it's going to be almost an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's all one man, isn't it? It's all you.
It is me, yes, but I play 24 different people, and I speak in 3 different languages. But
Wow!
all those people actually look very much like me, though. But yeah.
How daunting is that doing that sort of thing on your own then? Like, if it's complete like, I mean, is it scary? Is it or is that something that you revel in?
Um, it would be scary if I thought about it,
Okay.
and up until now, I didn't think about it. Now I'm terrified. I don't think I can. I'm cancelling. Cancel Edinburgh. Well,
No refunds.
exactly. Well, my kind of performing background, by trade, I'm a nurse, but my performing background is in comedy. You can see the stuff there, comedy. And so I've been used to standing in front of people for quite a while.
Mhm.
And actually, I'll tell you something, theater is easier than comedy. Because think about it, with comedy, if they're not laughing, you're failing.
Okay, yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
trying to get that instant reaction all the time. With theater, if they're just staring at you, that's a good thing most of the time.
Yeah.
So no, it's not. And in fact, in some respects, it's easier being a one man show because when you have other performers, um, you've got to rely on them not breaking their legs or dying or being sick or falling out with you.
Mhm.
I did one show where two of my colleagues fell out with each other, and the whole thing it fell apart. Last day of Edinburgh, the whole thing it fell apart. Um, so yeah, the one man thing, it can be a bit daunting. It's all on you. But no, it's okay. Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Um, what, do you have any like, after Edinburgh this year, what's the future plans for the play and for the show? Do you gonna, like, maybe film it, adapt it, like, any sort or have you already?
Um, First thing I want to do is I want to publish the script.
Okay, yeah.
So get a book out there, why not? Then I would like to put together that presentation I was thinking of doing 2 years ago, and then I could take the presentation around the country. You've got branches of have you heard of the Western Front Association?
Again, it's something that sounds familiar, I can't,
Yeah, okay, okay.
yeah.
That they're a nationwide organization. They've got branches all over the place where they're really interested in the Great War.
Right.
And, I think they'd be interested in a presentation. So kind of an Irish maybe even take it to schools,
Mhm.
do the presentation, and, I would love very much for it to be made into a movie, and or a TV series. Uh, so I'm putting that out there to the universe.
Yeah, what not?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
are you planning on Eddie Murphying the whole thing and just playing all the parts, or what you
Well, that'd be something. People say he's very good. Well, there was a bit of a problem in that back in 1914, 15, you could get 30,000 fit men who were short. Today, it would be a struggle. Mind you, a friend of mine says, "You've seen Lord of the Rings, Michael."
that is
And I
the
said,
truth.
"Oh,
Very true.
we could just dig the trenches a little bit deeper for the taller guys so that they don't look." Yeah. But yeah, a big nationwide call for men between 5 foot and 5'3". Yeah. 5'3 and a half, you're too tall, get out of here.
That's it. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to, this year coming back to Edinburgh? Is there anything that stands out to you about I'm not even talking about shows, just generally about coming over and just being part of the festival itself?
Absolutely, I love it. Edinburgh is probably my second favorite city after Dublin. It's a wonderful city. Are you from Edinburgh yourself?
Glasgow. Glasgow, I'm just
Oh,
ju
Glasgow is my favorite city.
yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
Got out of that one quickly. But yeah, Glasgow, obviously my favorite, but Edinburgh comes a close second to it. It's compact. It's quite walkable. You've got the mountains, but you've got Arthur's Seat, you've got the
Mhm.
North Sea, you've got the Old Town, you've got the New Town. And do you know something I do notice when I go back is that Scots people look quite Irish. There is a look. There is a look, and Scots people have it. So yeah, I feel very much at home there. Yeah,
Good, good, I'm
and
glad.
there's a whole buzz of the Edinburgh thing as well.
Yeah.
You know,
If this show that you're doing, it's obviously it's a kinda more of a drama than comedy.
Mm.
Is that uncomfortable for you to kinda go into that dramatic side of things, considering how much of a comedian that you are, which I can tell that you are, I can see it. You literally says it over your left shoulder there, comedy.
Oh, I know. I should pull that down. There is some comedy in the play.
Mhm.
'Cause there has to be, because 'cause I'm doing it, there had to be some comedy in there. But actually, from a dramatic point of view, having some humor in there, getting the audience laughing,
Mhm.
actually makes the dramatic bits that bit more dramatic. You know, the light makes the darkness darker.
Yeah, I find that is because when you think about people like like Robin Williams
Yeah.
and Steve Carell, for example, those are two massive comedic actors who, when they moved over into drama, they absolutely nailed it. And again, I think that's because the way you just put it there, the light of the light makes the dark darker. Um,
Absolutely.
and is that the sort of similar thing for you as well in your show?
Yes, absolutely. And there's places where I've deliberately put humor to kind of counter the darkness that went before.
Mhm.
Because if you have 10 minutes of darkness and horror, you've got to give the audience a bit of release. So I tried to do that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Honestly, I'm actually like genuinely because normally for me, I always try and find. I always thought the Fringe was all just pure comedy, 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 comedy. Um, and I think a lot of people think that talking about Edinburgh, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more kind of more dramatic things, and I'm certainly I cannot wait to come at you. Just quick question, as a personal one, is there an age limit on on your show? Do you know?
I think you might meet the cut actually, yeah.
Me,
Uh,
of course.
I
He's a kid.
suggest I suggest exactly, I suggest 16.
16.
Yes.
My
But having said that, I did have a 13-year-old girl sneak in with her parents a couple of years ago, and, she wasn't traumatized. Afterwards, she came up to me, she wanted my autograph. "You want my autograph?" And I was saying, "We you okay with it?" You know, and she was, "Yeah, I'm fine." You know?
So the reason I asked that is my 14-year-old daughter, is a massive history buff. She wants to be a history teacher when she grows up, and, she loves history. She chose history as a subject, and, I was thinking about bringing her along. What do you reckon?
Well, you're her parent. It is set in a war zone. It is true, you've done the tests. It's set in a war zone, and I do use 3 swear words, um, tastefully deploy them, and, there is descriptive violence. So in the play, I do describe some gruesome stuff. There's a couple of gruesome scenes in it.
Yeah.
Um, uh there's no blood sprayed around the stage, there's no
Mhm.
explosions, and there is plenty of light there. It's up to you based on your knowledge of your daughter, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know, but I was thinking more
And
about
if she's a
the kinda
history buff, she would like it. If she's interested in history, she
yeah.
would like it.
It was more to do with, like, the official lines of it, 'cause, sometimes it says no
Yeah, no,
underswells
I
or
think
whatever.
I put it down as a suggested guideline
Okay.
as opposed to a hard rule.
Awesome. Right, well, just to wrap it up then, let's do the official part of it. Where, when, uh, why, all the stuff.
When the how, the what.
Yes.
It's
So
at a Greenside in George Street, from August the 1st to the 23rd. With the exclusion of the 10th and the 17th, which are Sundays, I believe. Um, the show starts at 12:45 and it finishes about 13:40, 45-ish. Yeah, so it's just under an hour. Tickets, full price 15 quid, concessions £12. And I think there's a fringe friends arrangement. So if you're a fringe friend, you're getting cheaper. If you're accompanying somebody in a wheelchair or who's blind, then I think you might. Yeah, I was going to say you get it for free, but I'm not. I'm not sure about that. But I think there's a massive discount or something.
mhm,
So there you go. Yeah. So August the 1st to 23rd, 12:45 at Greenside, which is in George Street.
absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it. Brilliant. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Pleasure.